Chocolate and cheesecake are the two things absolutely vying for the top spot in the Dessert Hall of Fame. And out of the kindness of my heart, obviously, I'm fusing the two here to make my chocolate cheesecake. And the first part is the base. And for that, I need about 1.3 cups of graham cracker crumbs. That's about 125 grams of digestive biscuits. And these need to be thwacked into submission. Right, that's more or less done it. I'm just going to give a quick roll. And in they go for a quick whir, just to make sure there are no larger crumbs remaining. That's all I need. Now the chocolate cheesecake has to have a chocolate base. I'm getting that with cocoa. Put a tablespoon in with the crumbs. And a little whir again, just so that the cocoa is evenly distributed in the crumbage. It's a very impressive suntan there. The third and final ingredient for the base is butter, about half a stick, 50 or 60 grams. And now a little bit of whirring, just to make everything cohere. We just need the crumbs to start looking like slightly damp, clumping sand. There we are. The beach after a rainy day. Really wonderful damp crumbs into the cake tin, and just use your knuckles to form the base. I find a bit of pressing with hands is the best, because the heat from your hands helps the butter kind of melt more and cohere. There we are. I'm just going to stash this in the freezer for a few minutes. It's just to chill it while we get on with the second part of the cheesecake, the luscious chocolatey custardy interior. To make a cheesecake, you need cheese, cream cheese. I need about 2.5 packets, about 500 grams. And the cream cheese really must be at room temperature, otherwise you'll never get that desirable satiny smoothness. Just going to give this a bit of a going over. Right, sugar. I need about 3/4 cup, about 150 grams. Superfine sugar, caster sugar. In it goes. And then some custard powder, tablespoon. Look at that, I love its peachy pink whiteness. And if you haven't got this, I would use about 1 tablespoon of cornstarch with another teaspoon of sugar and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Some eggs, 3 whole eggs, in they go. And 3 yolks. In you go, my babies. To intensify the tang of the cream cheese, some sour cream. About 2/3 cup, 150 millilitres. And I've got 2 ways of making this cheesecake chocolatey. And the first way is by adding a bit of cocoa. There's only a teaspoon here, and I've dissolved it in a tablespoon of hot water from a kettle. Chocks away. A little scrape down. Now this is quite a runny mixture, but it's that runniness which means you get the glorious light, smooth texture when the cheesecake bakes. So now, just what we've been waiting for. A huge pool of melted bittersweet chocolate. I've got about 175 grams here, 6 ounces. And although it's melted, I have let it stand a bit so it's not hot. And the chocolate just needs to be folded into the cheesecake mix. Patiently, dreamily. Now at first you can see it flecked and rippled, but sooner or later everything gives way to chocolate. which is, after all, the natural order of things. That's all that needs to be done, so time to fill the cheesecake base. First, I wrap with cling. That's so no liquid can get in or out, because I'm baking this in a water bath. And on top of the cling, as a safety measure, foil. Just bring it right up. The tin goes into a roasting tray. Now I'm going to pour my gorgeous brown batter into the crumb-lined tin. Oh, deep, deep pleasure. Deep, deep pleasure. And last stage, to make the water bath, I'm going to pour a kettle of recently boiled water into the roasting tin so that it comes about halfway up the cheesecake tin. And don't be alarmed if the cheesecake tin bobs about a little. It's the cling that gives it buoyancy. And this goes into a 350-degree oven, that's about 180 centigrade, for 45 minutes to an hour, thereabouts. And you can tell it's ready when it's just set. I mean, it will be set properly at the sides, but the centre should have just a hint of wobble about it. Now I'm just going to unclip the cool cheesecake. Gently does it. Ah, that is so perfect. You can see by this paler colour here that the interior is every bit as satiny textured as I wanted. Now for the difficult work, at least for me, I'm going to try and convey this cheesecake to its plate. Luckily, I have the tool for the job. Now, I did advertise a tripartite cheesecake, did I not? And here is the third and final part, its crowning glory. Some melted chocolate, this is about 3/4 of a bar, a bittersweet chocolate, which I am going to Jackson Pollock over the waiting cheesecake. A thing of beauty is a joy forever, I'm told. A joy for tea time does me.